Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're plunging into a really captivating set of sources. They all come from Fortune's Light.
Great. A narrative that drops us smack bang into this high-stakes mystery. An alien world, lots going on.
Exactly. And our mission really is to pull out the most important insights, help you navigate this. Well, the complex web, isn't it?
Definitely. Loyalty, betrayal, political maneuvering.
And how those deep personal connections, can end up shaping the fate of old civilizations almost.
It's going to be quite a journey. Some surprising facts, I think, and unexpected character turns.
Let's start by grounding ourselves in the personal stakes.
Right.
Right at the heart of it, starting with Will Riker himself.
Yeah, you might think of him just as this adventurous Starfleet guy, right?
Right. But the sources, they show this quieter side, something shaped by an accident when he was young.
That broken collarbone incident, he was only 6, fell off something called execution rock, bit ominous.
Yeah. But it kept him indoors. And what's really interesting is how his mother handled that.
She kind of transformed that recovery time, didn't she? Turned it into a period of discovery for him.
Yeah, instead of just, running around like kids do, he got into things like jazz.
Inspired by his grandfather down in New Orleans.
And cooking too, surprisingly. Made ratatouille that was apparently as good as his mother's.
That's quite the claim. But the big one was books, wasn't it?
Books, yeah. He found it a bit strange at first, with audio tapes being the norm then.
But books made him work, made him imagine things himself.
And it wasn't just about killing time. Reading together was like a window into his mother's world, the sources say.
Fostered a real connection. And crucially, one specific book from back then sparked an idea.
An idea that kind of loops back and influences how he tackles this investigation we're getting into.
It shows how those early experiences can really stick with you, shape your choices later on, even under pressure.
Which brings us neatly to Teller Conlon, Riker's friend, described as brother-like.
Yeah, their bond goes way back. Starfleet Academy days.
And there's that key anecdote, the earthquake on the Gamma Tobin colony.
Oh, right. Teller basically saved Riker's life, went against orders, risked his career to join the rescue.
That's serious loyalty. Really establishes how deep their connection was.
Absolutely. Which makes Teller's later decision feel even more surprising.
Leaving Starfleet. Yeah, Riker was taken aback.
To become a permanent trade liaison on this planet, Imprima, Teller said he wanted a happier life.
One that didn't move at the speed of light, as he put it.
But it created some distance between them initially, a bit of unease.
So imagine Riker gets this urgent message from Starfleet, Priority 1.
And it accuses his friend, Teller Conlon, of being a thief and a traitor.
It's way more than just another mission for him now. It's personal.
And the thing they're worried about is Fortune's Light, this incredibly valuable jewel-covered seal.
Vital for a big merger deal between two powerful Impriman groups, the Madragi Kriathis and Terran.
But Riker, despite these really serious charges, he just doesn't believe it. Not for a second.
No, he's instantly convinced Teller was framed, set up.
And this is where his personal conviction immediately bumps up against, the practical side of the mission.
Lieutenant Worf, for instance, always thinking security.
Right. He's pretty skeptical about Riker heading off on a Priority 1 alone.
And he also doesn't seem to rate the Impriman retainers, their local security, very highly.
No, thinks they're nothing compared to Starfleet, basically.
And then there are the rules on Imprima itself, specifically at the Spicidia Trade Carnival.
Oh yeah, the weird rules, like a total ban on high-tech stuff.
Including Starfleet communicators. Big problem.
And once the carnival starts, nobody leaves. You're locked in, essentially.
So it immediately sets up this really challenging environment for Riker's investigation. His personal quest, really.
Okay, so Riker arrives in Basidia. What's the vibe?
Cold, snowy. You've got street clowns doing shows, but also these solemn ascetic figures.
Contrasts. Sounds like a world of stark differences.
Reflects the complexity he's about to walk into, I think.
And it's here he meets Linnea Tell. She's his assigned partner from Madraga Kriathis.
One of the big Impriman houses, yeah. She's described as striking, but her attitude...
Sharp, businesslike.
Very direct, and, a bit condescending at first. Puts him on edge immediately.
So their first proper interaction, it's a real clash, right?
Definitely. Linnea brings out this Starfleet intelligence report.
Saying Teller had a history of, petty smuggling, using his office for personal wealth.
That's the official line. But Riker just rejects it flat out.
Vehemently, the sources say. He's convinced it's all an elaborate trail. Someone set Teller up.
And this really highlights that core tension, doesn't it? How do you figure out the truth when personal loyalty crashes against, well, what looks like facts?
Even if the facts might be incomplete or misleading, it forces you and Riker to question everything. Official reports versus personal trust.
So their first proper investigative step takes them to a tavern, known hangout for smugglers.
Right, gives us a bit of a glimpse into Impriman culture, too.
Like the local drink, Korsh. Riker thinks it tastes like vinegar.
Doesn't sound appealing. And they use these chits from different Madragi, the big houses, to hide who they're really working for.
Clever. And then things get really strained with the Board of Review.
Ah, the bartender's test instead of just answering questions.
He leads them to this pit, and inside there's an Isak.
Described as a dangerous, black, sinewy beast in a blood frenzy. Not good.
And the test is this bizarre ritual. They lower people over the pit, heels dangling just above the snarling creature, pass them hand to hand around the edge.
A test of trust. Bravery. Seems incredibly risky.
Riker typically insists on going first. Shows his courage, I guess.
But he nearly falls in. It's Linnea who steps up.
Yeah, surprisingly, she uses this kind of primitive-looking projectile pistol.
Basic enough to get around the tech ban.
Right. She stuns the Isak, saves Riker.
That's a big moment. Her pragmatism wins out over the rules and maybe over her initial stiffness towards Riker. First real sign of teamwork, maybe?
Maybe. So, moving on, they start tracking down some leads. The tavern informant.
A pendrolite, one of those reptilian humanoid species.
He says he's scared, but not because of Teller. He's afraid of this guy, Droner.
A corrupt labor broker he apparently crossed somehow.
So that immediately throws a wrench in the works, right? It's not just a simple theft. Hints at a wider criminal network.
Yeah, much more complicated. The informant then points them towards Regidor Bosch.
A smuggler's agent, supposedly Teller's outside player.
Okay, so they go to see Bosch, another tense scene.
Riker acts fast, stops Bosch grabbing a blaster. Instinct.
Then Bosch isn't well. He's got this chorus fever, causes muscle tremors.
Makes him dangerous, though. But Linnea, again, very practical. She just disables the blaster, makes sure it's useless.
Yeah, you can see them starting to work together, even if they're still a bit wary of each other, relying on each other's strengths.
Okay, but here's where the plot takes a really sharp twist.
Norayan appears.
Right. A Krythan official. Someone Riker knew before, a former friend. But she shows up disguised as an ascetic.
Very dramatic entrance. And she gives him what she calls a confession.
Yeah, she tells Riker that Teller did change after Riker left Imprima. Became obsessed with getting rich. Started smuggling.
And that's why she rejected him when he apparently made advances towards her. Because he'd changed so much.
It's a blow to Riker's image of his friend. But her theory is even more pointed.
She thinks Teller teamed up with Madraga Rurig Arrival House to steal Fortune's Light.
Not just to mess up the merger, but specifically to hurt her. Personal revenge.
Wow. That adds a whole new layer of personal vendetta to the mess.
She gives them a lead. The maze of Zondrola.
Ah, yes, the maze. Has this slightly sad backstory, doesn't it? Built by some official for his puzzle-loving wife, bankrupted him in the process.
Exactly. Known for being secluded, really complex, color-coded paths, dangerous lower levels.
And it's in this maze, in a collapsed section.
They find Teller Conlon's body.
Such a grim discovery for Riker. Confirms his worst fears about his friend's fate.
And right there with the body, a Rurik emblem. Seems to fit Norayan's story perfectly.
Too perfectly? Maybe. But Riker, caught in the moment, makes this promise to Norayan.
To keep her secret about Teller's alleged smuggling, their past relationship.
Which just tangles him up even more. Personal loyalty versus the mission. It's getting really messy.
So the story takes another sharp turn. They've got the Rurig emblem.
And Linnea quickly identifies who it belongs to. Kobar, third official of Madraga Rurig.
Described as a firebrand. And apparently he had designs on Norayan as fuel to that theory.
So they track him down to the Basidian market, which is apparently chaos.
Yeah, some baby Isak has escaped, causing mayhem. Great setting for a confrontation.
And it gets tense fast. Kobar recognizes Riker straight away.
And on Imprima, that means initiating a street duel.
Which is basically a fight to the death, high stakes.
But the outcome is completely unexpected. Kobar gets Riker pinned.
Looks like it's over for Riker.
But instead of finishing him, Kobar deliberately plants a knife just beside Riker's ear.
And whispers something crucial.
Tell Norayan she's wrong. I didn't kill him.
Whoa. Okay, that changes everything.
Totally. Riker has to completely rethink Narayan's confession. Did she lie? Did she plant the emblem?
To frame Kobar, to protect the real killer, maybe protect herself.
It's a huge turning point. Really makes you question how reliable any source is when personal feelings are involved.
Especially feelings like vengeance or protecting one's reputation, you have to look beyond the surface.
But the danger isn't over. Just as Riker's processing this,
He gets stabbed from behind by a cloaked figure.
it's serious. And Linnea has to make a massive choice.
She breaks the rules, uses Riker's communicator, the forbidden high-tech, to call the Enterprise.
Needs urgent medical help. It's life or death.
And it shows how far their relationship has come, right? Her trust in him, their alliance, she's willing to risk serious consequences for him.
And Starfleet's response is immediate. Dr. Crusher beams down right into the danger zone.
And back on the ship, Counselor Troy feels Riker's pain. That empathic connection just underscores how tight that crew is.
So Riker's recovering, but he's not done. He's still driven by loyalty to Teller.
He actually convinces Crusher to go back to the maze with him. He needs to find that seal.
His determination, even after nearly dying, it's pretty intense. Shows that depth of friendship.
And it pays off. Big time. Where do they find it?
In Teller's boot. Apparently it was a Conlon family tradition to hide valuables there.
You're kidding. So what's in the boot?
Two things. A valuable shit from Madraga Rurig looks like payment. Confirming part of Narayan's story, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
And Fortune's Light itself.
Yeah.
Actual seal.
Wow. But there's more, isn't there? The seal does something unexpected.
Yeah. Turns out it's a homing device. Leaves them right out of the maze.
And straight, too.
Shockingly, Lorek's estate. He's the first official of Madraga Terran, the other party in the merger.
This is the real bombshell. What do they find there?
Lorek is seen meeting with a Ferengi.
A Ferengi. On Imprima. That's highly illegal, big trouble.
Exactly. And it blows the whole thing wide open. Terran's real motive wasn't the merger.
It was to break the merger deal with Kriathis. Why?
To restore their secret, forbidden and probably very lucrative trade deals with the Ferengi.
So Teller must have stumbled onto this, discovered Larak's treachery.
And Lorak killed him for it. Murdered him to keep the secret.
Devastating. Just shows how economic greed can twist everything. Politics, alliances, even murder.
Leanna is obviously crushed by this betrayal from Terran. But Riker, he's thinking strategically again.
Get the seal first, right, before reporting anything.
Yeah, he knows how much it means culturally to Kriathis. Calls it the heart and soul of the Madraga priorities.
Okay, so they have the truth. They have the seal. What's the next move?
They crash the merger ceremony. Riker, Linnea, Worf, and Data, who's beamed down as backup.
And Data's apparently not very impressed with Impriman's security.
Huh. Typical Data. And here Riker pulls off this, well, it's a brilliant but morally murky move.
He uses Starfleet tech, right? The Enterprise computer.
Simulates Teller's voice.
Ah.
Plays this forged audio confession.
Implicating Teller and Madraga Rurig in the theft of Fortune's Light.
It's a huge gamble, designed to flesh out the real players, even if it temporarily tars his dead friend's name.
Does it work?
Partially. Kelne, who's Rurig's first official, admits it. Yes, they hired Teller to steal the seal.
But denies the murder completely.
And Kobar, Kelne's son, he's publicly humiliated, but seems genuinely innocent of the killing itself. It's messy. Partial truths, public shaming.
Then Narayan asks the key question. What about the Ferengi?
And that's Riker's cue. He lays it all out. Lorek's treachery, Teller's murder, the whole plot to sabotage the merger for illegal trade.
Lorek's exposed. What does he do?
Panics. Grabs Narayan, holds her hostage with a blaster.
Classic villain move. What's Picard doing up in the Enterprise?
Playing for time. Makes up some excuse about beam-up calibrations. Very calculated. Gives Riker in the team room to maneuver.
And the final confrontation is chaotic.
Yeah, in the struggle, Lorek accidentally stabs Kobar.
Which ironically proves Kobar definitely wasn't the murderer.
Right. Then Riker, Worf, and Data manage to subdue Lorek.
And the Ferengi, Ralk, he gets killed in the chaos too.
So the dust settles. What happens to everyone?
Lorek faces the music. Trial for murder. Breaking trade laws. Looking at serious jail time.
But the really surprising outcome involves Kobar.
Riker suggests him for Teller's old job, trade liaison for the Federation.
Exactly. An Impriman in that role would be totally unprecedented.
But Riker believes Kobar's ethics are solid now. Beyond reproach, he says, despite the earlier stuff.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? About finding integrity in unexpected people, especially after trust has been broken all around.
Definitely challenges your first impressions.
Now, moving beyond the main plot, The sources also give us more on the personal fallout. Narayan, for instance.
She finally comes clean to Riker, right? The full story.
Yeah, admits the whole thing lying about Teller smuggling, framing Kobar, manipulating Riker. It was all self-preservation.
Protecting her reputation, her family honor, because of how Teller had supposedly changed in their secret relationship.
Riker understands the pressure she was under, the societal rules. He promises to keep her secret.
It's quite a commentary on how rigid ideas of honor can clash with truth and justice.
And then there's Riker and Linnea. Things thaw out a bit.
Yeah, their last interaction. It's playful. Riker tries flirting. She initially brushes him off in her usual sharp way.
But then there's this softer moment. They acknowledge what they went through together, the attraction.
Shows how those intense situations can forge unexpected bonds, doesn't it? Across cultures, too.
Meanwhile, back on the Enterprise, something else quite profound was happening, involving Data.
The Holodeck subplot with the baseball program Riker made.
Based on his childhood heroes, the Alaskan icebreakers. Picard gets a bit worried initially.
Thinks Data might be becoming another Lal. That android prodigy who develops sentience too quickly raises those big questions again.
Right. What is sentience? How do we perceive it?
So Data's in the holodeck trying to understand human stuff like idioms, talking to the simulated manager, Terwilliger.
And then he has this breakthrough. He analyzes the game, human behavior.
Helps a teammate finally hit a curveball.
And then Data himself hits this game-tying home run. Changes the simulated history of the game.
But Picard's realization is the key thing here. He sees Data's motivation wasn't just cold logic.
He identifies it as compassion for his team.
Which really forces us to reconsider what synthetic beings might be capable of. Emotions, morality, maybe in ways we don't fully get yet.
It challenges our whole definition of sentience.
Later, Riker talks to Data about the program. Reveals his own personal connection, the childhood hero worship.
Ties it back to his own past again. And he promises Data he'll find a different way to challenge the program. Says he'll keep all his promises.
A nice subtle link back to his promise about Teller, perhaps.
And speaking of promises to Teller, there's that final, very unusual one.
The Dibdanagi joy juice, scattering Teller's ashes in it.
Yeah. A bizarre request, apparently, but Riker intends to honor it. A strange, but somehow fitting, final act of friendship.
It really is. And when you pull it all together, this deep dive into Fortune's Light, it's so much more than just a crime story, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's this profound look at human nature, and well, artificial nature too, with Data.
You see how things like loyalty, ambition, honor, friendship, how they drive people to do extraordinary things, often with unpredictable results.
And connecting it to the bigger picture, it really hammers home how our past, our feelings, they shape everything we do now.
Whether you're solving a murder on an alien world or just, dealing with everyday life, truth is rarely simple. It's layered, biased.
Definitely not always what it looks like on the surface.
Which leads to a final thought for you, the listener. Think about Riker's loyalty to Teller. It initially blinded him a bit, right?
While someone like Kobar, who seemed like trouble, actually had integrity underneath.
So how often do your own strong beliefs or maybe your first impressions of people influence how you see things? Could they be blinding you to a different truth?
And conversely, what unexpected truths or motivations might you find if you look past the surface? Something to think about.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.